I don't know what is worse, to not know what you are and be happy, or to become what you are always wanted to be and feel alone. Hi all, my name is Yunona, and today I want to talk with you about the novel which stirred scientific minds in 20th century. Flowers for Algernon, a short story by Daniel Keyes, which was published in 1959 in the Scientific Journal. Because of success of the story, Daniel Keyes decided to extend the story and wrote a whole novel, which was published in 1966. This is the most human novel which I ever read. It's about Charlie Gordon, who is not really a smart person, but he really believes that scientific experiment will help him to become smarter. Daniel Keyes is a non-fiction novelist, but this book was inspired by few stories from his life. For example, in latest 50s, he was working in the school with kids with special needs, and he was the English teacher, and one of the students come to him and ask, if I will try harder, will it help me to become smarter? The main character of this book is Charlie Gordon. He is 33 years old. He is not very smart, but he is kind and very generous gentleman. He works in bakery where he is cleaning the floor. He lives alone. We don't really know nothing about his family. We know that the owner of bakery is taking care of him because he was promised that to Charlie's late uncle. Everyone in bakery make fun of Charlie because of his mental disabilities, but he is laughing together with them because he can't see difference between then people laugh at him or with him. So Charlie believes that he has a lot of friends. Desiring to improve himself, Charlie attends the writing and reading classes by Miss Alice Kenyon at the Beckman College Center for Retarded Adults. Miss Kenyon sees how motivated Charlie is, and she suggested him for the scientific experiment which take place in one of the universities. Book is combined of the Charlie's reports, so it's kind of a diary. It helps to see in what condition Charlie is, because in the beginning we can see that language used for writing reports is very simple and has a lot of mistakes and not correctly used words. In the laboratory, Charlie meets Algernon. It's a mouse which already has that operation, and Algernon become very, very smart mouse. He can easily solve puzzles and get out from very difficult labyrinths. Charlie first loses to the mouse in the passages of labyrinth, but more time pass after the operation. We can see improvement in Charlie's behavior, and Algernon not the smartest anymore in the room. It becomes more and more interesting to read Charlie's reports after the operation, how he sees things differently. Only a short time ago I learned that people laughed at me. Now I can see that unknowing I joined them in laughing at myself. That hurts the most. He begins to see not only beauty of this world but also ugly stuff, and things become so complicated, so Charlie need to leave the bakeries, which is fine because university pay him for the experiments, for reports, so he can survive without working in the bakery. And everything seems to work well for Charlie. He's becoming smarter and smarter every minute. He starts to reading and speak in dozens of language, but his emotional stage not so improving. For him, it's very difficult to understand people's emotions, to feel empathy. Only one person to who he feels attached is Alice Kenyon, his teacher, but and she's also feels attached to him, but something not let him to do the first step. Soon the professors who made that experiment decided that it's time to talk about it loudly. So they took the Algernon and Charlie to the conference. On the stage, firstly, they show Algernon who good he is in the solving puzzles, all labyrinths, and then they start to talk about Charlie. And because Charlie became more smarter, he realized that they are talking about him only like an experiment, not about like a person. And they are talking in such way like Charlie never existed before the experiment, and Charlie understand that this is not how he wants to be treated. So he took the mouse and ran away from the conference. He rent apartment with 2 rooms. So in one room he will live, and in another room he built the labyrinth for the Algernon. So he started to live on his own, reading articles, studying, exploring the city, meet people. But then suddenly he understands that he read one of the article which was from India, and he understands that probably the experiment has a bad side and the results wouldn't last long. And unfortunately also he started to see that something wrong with Algernon. He's not so fast anymore in solving puzzles. He's not so good in the labyrinths anymore. And if he can't find a way out, he become aggressive and attacking the walls of labyrinth, or curls up in the ball and doesn't move anymore. So Charlie realized that if Algernon has so fast regression, he doesn't have a lot of time left for himself. So he decided to come back to the university to do his research, to looking for help from people who did that operation. Unfortunately, they are not so smart as Charlie become, and they didn't think about that things that the experiment can be reversible. So Charlie understood that time for him is very important, and he began to study all days, all night long. And in one of the reports he wrote that Algernon died, and he buried him in backyard and put bouquet of the daisies on the Algernon grave. So Charlie not sleep, not eat, not reading. He's just studying, and he writes the article about this situation and call it Algernon Gordon effect. So he believes that his job will be very important and will help for other people to become smarter, and he believes that his work will help to make the operation not reversible anymore. His diary shows that he getting worse and worse. He not let Alice or professors come in his apartment. He losing memory, the coordination skills, and he become aggressive, and he's so disappointing that he has not so many time left. And of course that he's losing himself, and because he's not sleeping, so we can see how bad he is. And we are reading 1st of November report, and it looks still okay. He used long words, no mistakes in his language, but unfortunately the report from November 2nd shows that Charlie not so smart anymore. We see the same mistakes which we saw in the beginning of the story. He using only simple words, and we understand that miracle is gone. Charlie returns working to bakery because he need to pay for his rent, and he don't want to participate anymore in any university experiments or tests. Everyone in bakery is happy to see him, and nobody is making fun of him anymore. But unfortunately, Charlie realized that he is too tired to live this life anymore, and he wants to go to the special facilities where people like him lives, and doctors take care of them. I want to read the last couple of sentences from Charlie's report because I think they're very important and brings me to tears every time. Bart, please tell to Professor Nemor that he needs to let people make fun of him. It's easy to make friends if you let people laugh at you. P.S. Please, if you get a chance, put some flowers on Algernon grave in the backyard. Why is worth to read this book? And I really recommend it to read this book because I believe everyone will find something to themselves. It has lots of context and food for thoughts. It's talking about importance of being with yourself and importance of friendship. It's talking about how time flies and that it's very important to enjoy every moment. About that, it's really important to understand who you are or who you want to be, and every day do the steps and never give up. The importance of feelings and emotions. Yes, be smart is very beautiful, mind is very beautiful, but without emotions, our world will be very boring. I would be very happy to hear your opinion in the comments if you already read this book or if you will read it after this review. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope to see you soon, just in the next video. Bye bye.